music. All right. So this is a this is a video that I believe was in a while of coming. It had to come eventually, and that is me taking accountability. Many comments I have saw, people told me that, and all my apologies, I have never took any accountability for any of my actions. And all comments, they always say you never take it seriously. You never actually apologize. Always makes excuses. And you know what? They're kind of right. Every single time I ever made an apology, I always make like, it was this, it was that, or it's this, or that, or it's this, or it's that. At the end of the day, the chat logs with Neko shouldn't have happened, regardless if I wasn't interested in her, regardless if it was just a awkward conversation. It should never happen. Regardless of any excuses I have made in the past of, oh, I wasn't interested in her, doesn't matter. It should never happen. At the end of the day, I take accountability for it even being that way. You know, it was my fault and my responsibility as an adult to not fully check the bio of her Instagram. There was nobody's fault but my own. If I checked the Instagram bio, I would I would definitely change the way I was talking to her. But you know what? There's nobody else's fault but mine. It's all my fault. And I take accountability for that. I do not hate Neko. In fact, I actually apologize to her for the things that I hurt her did, the things I done to her. I removed her verification. I treated her like not a friend. I treated her so mean. For what? For fame? For people to like me? Yeah. And that was not okay. Neko was a good person. She may have her flaws. She may have a couple of things, but it doesn't make her not a bad person. She was just a kid. A nice girl at the end of the day. And me being an adult, even if I was like, what, you know, 2 years or 3 years older than her, I was still an adult. And I treated her like trash. I called her whore. I called her all these insults. And she's just like what, 16? And I look at myself and I say, I was horrible for ever talking to that girl like that. And I take full accountability for that. You know, every day I've been thinking about all the stuff I've done, and I take accountability for it, but I never show it. You know, I know Neko is going, if she ever sees it, she's gonna be like, oh wow, but you're da 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 da. And I say, Neko, you have all right to hate me. You have all right to wish suffering on me, everything. But know this, I already went through suffering. I already had everything destroyed from me. I already had my reputation destroyed, my fan base gone, my kingdom gone. So at the end of the day, I did suffer. And I just want to say, from that suffering, I have now realized how terrible I treated you. and I'm deeply sorry. Now on to the next thing. I take full accountability for my discords. At the end of the day, just because my moderator said this or that, I was the leader. I was trying to be too much of the yes man, and it has nobody else's fault but mine. No one else told me to, well, no one else told me to like give in. It was all my fault. I was the adult. I should have said, "No, I don't agree with that." And no one else fault but that, well, no one else fault but mine. You know, I don't hate anyone or blame any of my mods for suggesting these ideas. Well, I guess I do because these ideas was really bad, but I mainly blame myself for allowing these to happen. At the end of the day, it falls on me. I should have said no, and there's no one else to blame but myself. And and I just feel very bad for it. And on to that, I also take full accountability for the group chats I had. There was minors and adults. I had no right for sending what I sent. Those porn pics should have never been sent. Doesn't matter if it wasn't for sexual intent or not. It was for. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whatever excuse that I ever said in the past. No excuse matters. 'Cause at the end of the day, it was wrong. All of my excuses in the past are all been bullshit because it was all wrong. Terrible. It should have never happened. The thing is, it shouldn't have never been. I was wrong. It doesn't matter if I didn't do it for any this or that, this or that. I was wrong. And I'm sorry to everyone I ever hurt. I'm sorry to the people in the group chat I hurt. Sorry to Neko. I'm sorry to my Discord mods. I'm sorry to everyone that I ever hurt. With my carelessness and my own actions. Everything I have done to you guys, know that I have already got suffering for it. So you know that I got my earns. That your cries, that your pain wasn't in vain. And I just want you to know, I'm sorry. And I want you to know that you are good people for calling me out on my bullcrap. And that goes to all people who exposed me. I forgive you, and I want to say you did the right thing. Mal, you did the right thing. You called me out on my BS. It doesn't matter if it was speculation sometimes, or some things was wrong, some things was false, or some things were not exactly correct. At the end of the day, you did a good thing. You did great. You called out something that was bad. And I have no hate towards that. You was right. I had to be better. And Harley, same thing to you. You're not wrong for exposing me. You're not wrong for making these videos. You're not putting me on light. You're not any of that. Who am I to be mad at you for doing the right thing? If I saw a murderer outside who killing people, you think I'm gonna call that out? People don't like things like that. Even if it's like, oh, let's say a guy punches a grandma or pushes it or talks to grandma slightly wrong or whatever. It doesn't matter. If these people are calling out, that means that people have morals. And both of you have morals that I can very much respect. And that's why I believe You did amazing. And just hold on to that. Keep calling out evil, because the more you call it out, the more you do good in the world, and it helps these people from stop being evil. Eventually, their come up will happen, and eventually they will stop. So all I'm gonna say is this: keep doing what you're doing. Now, last thing, I take accountability for. This is more personal things, more personal stuff. We already went through all the Discord servers, all the, you know, you know, the avatars too. Like I take accountability for the avatars. From the Amanda one, I take accountability complete for that. Doesn't matter if I was going in a bad headspace, not headspace. I'm not British, but uh, doesn't matter if I was going into a bad headspace, or I was sad, depressed, or I was going into Satan more. Doesn't matter whatever excuse I gave, it was wrong. Doesn't matter if I was sad, no, not if I was angry, or I was doing it for jokes or lols, it was wrong. It should have never been. And I shouldn't have kept it up for any reason. Even if it was for people, I should have never been a yes man and just removed it like I wanted to. I hated it. And I should have just showed that to people. But no, I wanted to be a hard ass. I wanted to be a disgusting, despicable human being. And I was an adult. I wasn't a kid anymore. So I can't just be a disrespectful human being and just get nothing from it. So, for everybody who called me out on the Amanda Gator, not Amanda Gator, Amanda Avatar, thank you. Thank you so much. You did right. You did good. You stopped something that was bad, and I'm proud of that. You know, I see a lot of people in the FNC community who are now, you know, also, have allegations now and stuff, and I see the community now call those people out, and I'm proud of them too, every time. You know, and so yeah. Anyway, now on to more of the personal stuff. I want to say sorry to all my friends, all of my ex friends, my current friends, and my friends that are no longer here. I'm sorry for all the hurt I gave you, for making you disappointed in me, for hurting you the way I did. I'm sorry, Q, for lying to you, Q. I'm so sorry about that, and it's all my fault, and I take accountability for that. I'm sorry, Gore, for putting you through pain and making you feel like crap, and not taking you for granted. Sorry for that. I take full accountability on that part, and I hope you feel better. I'm sorry, Fusion, for the same thing, and I'm also sorry to Canary for for doing what I did to you, for for us what we did. I should have said no to you. One, because I was taken, and two, because doesn't matter if it was gonna be 18 in a month. I should have just not have that happen, and that's all my fault. And I don't blame you anymore, and I forgive you for that. And it's not your fault. It's all my fault. I'm the adult. I should have not had that happen. Now, this goes to every other friends. Like, I take accountability for everything. To everyone that was friends with me, who was a part of me, who was who wanted to be in my life, everyone. And I even say sorry to you know, I even I just I even forgive the people who hurt me as well. So, but we get to that. But the one person I would really want to say sorry to is Caddy. I want to say sorry for not listening to you, for not taking your advice, for not understanding that, you know, understanding that you meant the world to me. If I listened to you from day one, this never would happen. If I treated you like the woman of my dreams, like I think you are, a lot of things would be different. And I'm sorry for all all my adultery and all that. Sorry for everything. And I want you to know that I really love you, and I really want you to know I believe you're the beautiful, most beautiful woman I ever met in my life. And I love you. And take full accountability for how I treated you. And that goes on for the people who wronged me. Spice Lucifer, I forgive you. I forgive the people who also hurt me recently. I forgive everyone. It's not up to me. And I just know that I'm gonna leave it up to my Lord and Savior to deal with that. And the last thing I want to mention, I did not go to Christianity to not take accountability for my actions. I went to Christianity because, one, I was already Christian, and two, to save myself and to do right by the people I hurt, to do right by the people who were victims of me, to make my sins that I hurt on them right, to save myself. I didn't do it to not take accountability. I did it to take accountability, to realize I am a terrible human being and I have to fix myself. I have to be a better man. And with Christianity, I feel like I can do that. But that's my beliefs. Everything I've done in the past means everything. It's not just the past. It means something. And I take full accountability for my past. I take full accountability for it. At the end of the day, I don't believe I'm a pedophile. And that's the truth. But I do believe I done terrible things. I do believe I have done things that are and that can be seen as pedophilic. I have done things that can be seen as grooming. And there's just something I have to realize, that at the end of the day, I hurt people. And there's nothing that I can say that can make that not the case. And I take a full accountability for the hurt I have caused others. And this is not really an apology video to save my reputation. This is a video to take my accountability and move on. This is not a video to basically say I'm innocent. This is a video saying that I have wronged. Because, again, even if none of the things I did in that video was for sexual intent, none of the things I did in that video was for all that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it was, let's say, 3 years or 2 years. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it should have never happened. None of these events should have never happened. It just shouldn't. It was wrong. Each bad event is bad for a reason, because it's bad. The situation with Canary should never happen. The situation with Neko should have never happened. The situation with the group chat should never happen. Regardless of any reason. It just should never happen. And I own up to that. So I will do what I will do. I have a lot of things planned. I'm gonna walk in my faith, and from now on, if someone ever asks me about my past, I will take accountability and tell you, you're not wrong for hating me, and you're not wrong for loving me. You're not wrong for forgiving me, and you're not wrong for not forgiving me. You're all alright. Be safe, everyone. And remember, you're special in your own little way.